I said, they never know wetin we carry for body. Ọ̀kìnà lọ́jà ẹyẹ ni wọ́n ronú lájú. Ẹyẹ tó torí kodò ní àdó ọ̀gbẹ́dẹ́lẹ̀. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa. Ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè kojú lúwàgà. Òdòdó àkóbá lè gbé wá. Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣègìrì. Ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀. Ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé. Ilẹ̀ ìlérí. Káwa lè gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé. Ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni mọ̀lẹ́ tí ó tàn káàkiri. Ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá. Koiki Media, àwa là ń gbétò lárugẹ. Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní. Lásà, ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wà káyé gbúgbà yín jẹ. Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní. À ń gbétò lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ. Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní. News and sports, ẹ máa rí gbọ́. Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. Koiki Media, ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájúmọ̀ mi o. Má bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. Àwọn gbádùn rẹ̀, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi, ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé mádémádé. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ lájòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀. Àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó òyìnbó tó dé. Ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koiki Media, ṣàwa ní bàbá. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Àdáńtọ́, àtúnpèrè gidi. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Àwa là ń gbétò lárugẹ jẹ́ ká jọgbọ́ o. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Àtúnjà fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Ikú tí ó ṣe mí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá iyọ̀. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. We bring you one closer to your doorstep. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Afẹ́fẹ́ tó fẹ́ òòdù kan jòkó lára ni. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Gbogbo ayé ẹ̀kọ́, àwa ní bàbá o. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Odùduwà lágbèdá ní òtítọ́ lágbèdá ní. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Koiki Media, àkópèrègèdè. Koiki Media, we bring you up closer to yourself. Koiki Media is around to give us the test. Is around to give us the test. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ tí ẹ̀kọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ tí ẹ̀kọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo. Koiki Media is around to give us the test. Koiki Media is around to give us the test. Ẹ bá wá sálẹ̀ yìí o, àwa la ní. Àwa la bá sára lórúkẹ o. Torí àwa máa ní lánàá sàtà tún lédè. À ń gbédè lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ. Especially tilẹ̀ Odùduwà, àtọmọ Yorùbá. À ń kọ́ wọn lọ́gbọ́n, à ń kọ́ wọn aláìgbọ́n lọ́gbọ́n. Àgbàlagbà tí ò bá lóye, à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́pọlọ sínú ọpọlọ wọn. Ẹ bá wẹ́ Adéjìnlẹ̀ yìí, àwa la ní, àwa la gbáàsà lárugẹ o. Tiwa yàtọ̀ sí tiwọn, àṣà wa yàtọ̀ sí tiwọn, ọ̀rọ̀ wa yàtọ̀ sí tiwọn, èdè wa yàtọ̀ sí tiwọn, àwa la gbáàsà lárugẹ o. And a very good morning and welcome to Koiki Media Live. In the 15th day, and as we are getting ready for our lecture this morning, get your pen and paper. Ẹni tó mọ̀ nípa United Nations, mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa United Nations láàárọ̀ yìí fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. So get yourself together, get a cup of tea, pure water, fẹ́yìn tẹ́ wá Nàìjíríà, tó bá tutù, and we will be ready in just about a few more minutes. Ẹ jẹ́ àgbélé náà mọ̀ mọ́. Yorùbá Nation. Yorùbá Nation. Yorùbá Nation. Yorùbá Nation. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbọ́yàn máa kí. Tẹ́ dúró tán. Tẹ́ fóun fọ̀. Tẹ́ pariwo. Tẹ́ dóhùn jọ. Tẹ́ dẹ́nu jọ. Ẹ má jẹ́ kó tú wa ká mọ́ ọ. Ẹgbà bẹ́ẹ̀ oríṣiríṣi lọ. Ó ti di àwísẹ́yìn dégún fi ṣọ́. Àwọn awo ẹ̀ náà ti wọlé gbogbo àwọn oníjẹkújẹ àwọn dídìrín. Àwọn bíi ìyá Kóńgí. Gbogbo àwọn yẹn dídìrín àgbàlagbà ni wọ́n. Àwọn kò lọ títí. Àwọn Jimmy. Àwọn ìjìnlẹ̀. Àwọn ṣé ẹ kó ya wèrè. Àwọn Lady B. Àwọn Mrs. Brown. Kó máa lọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n pọ̀ lóríṣiríṣi. Àtàwọn tó sáyẹ̀. Tí wọ́n ṣekú tí wọ́n ṣayẹ tó ṣe nítorí lábẹ́lẹ̀ tó pẹ̀lú àwọn lájídé tán. wọ́n sí kọ̀ọ̀ká. Ẹ tí wọ́n sí kọ̀ọ̀ká ìpọ̀jù wọn lọ. Bàbá Adéníran. Bàbá Adéníran. Ẹ máa jọ ayé. Ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Nínú àdúgbò àjọ owó oríwé ayọ̀. Bàbá. Dérí bá dánwò ó máa lọ sí o. Tí kìnìún bá dánwò, àwọn kásínú àgbò. Bàbá ẹ máa tọ́ ayé. Ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ máa tọ́ àìwá o. Ṣé ń wá ìwà ni? Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti lọ. Kí ló wá fà pẹ́ ń padà bọ̀? Ẹ̀fẹ́ wá bá wa jà. Wọ́n fẹ́ lu ẹ̀yin náà. Wọ́n lè fẹ́ gbé yín dìde. Ẹ ṣàṣeyọrí tẹ̀yìn ṣe fún wa tẹ́ fi lọ́ta lè sọ nípa yín. Mr. Adéníran. Mr. Adéníran Professor tí òro. Bàbá àfẹ́ bá gbàlagbà o. Èpè lábádájọ́ fún yín tẹ́ bá padà wá. Because ọ̀tẹ̀lẹ̀ bá bọ̀ ẹ máa bá wa náà ní bùbá. Ẹ gbà ẹ̀rí farare lọ. Ẹ gbà èyí tó kù tẹ́ máa lò láyé. Èpè la máa fi sìn yín sínú kòtò. Èpè la máa fi sìn yín sínú kòtò. Ẹ má dánwò. Èyí tó dánwò ìwọ ẹ yọ. Ẹ gbà. Ẹ má dánwò. Ẹ má dánwò. Ẹ má dánwò. Bàbá dánwò lọ́dún yóò kẹ́lẹ́. Ẹ̀yin dánwò. Àwọn máa jẹ́ pẹ̀tọ́ fún yín lẹ́bí ìdè ní bàbá. Èpè la máa fi sìn yín lọ́gbẹ̀yìn. Ẹ kú bẹ́ẹ̀ ilé ẹ̀fọ́ ṣì. Ta ló ń jẹ ohun tá a já ń ju ẹ̀yin kẹ̀? Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ní rẹ́kọ̀dù tó dá kankan. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ní rẹ́kọ̀dù, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ báyé wá jẹ́. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ pọ̀ ọgbọ́n tọkọ sí lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀nà jẹ́ ni ẹ̀yin dúpẹ́ padà wá láti wá ṣe kí ni? Láti wá ṣe kí ni? Adéníran, ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ o. Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ sà. Ẹ ṣọ́ra yìí o. Bàbá ṣọ́ra o. Bàbá ṣọ́ra o. Bàbá ṣọ́ra o. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ bàbá Adéníran ti Christian. Ẹ fẹ́ bàbá yín létí. Ká tó fi yín lẹ̀. Bí Láíláí Muhammed. Ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwọn òfóṣì mọ́. We want Yorùbá nation. Yes. Unless Nigeria bá fún wa ní national government. Ẹ bá ní dọ́là yẹ. Ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. That is only way out. Ẹ bá yẹ ká wà ní Nàìjíríà ni o. Àwọn ò fẹ́ jẹ́rìí àmọ́. Yes, a fẹ́ tọ́jú ara wa. Yes, a fẹ́ ṣèdè wa. A fẹ́ fèdè wa kàwé. A fẹ́ sọ ìbò òṣì kankan mọ́. Bọ́lá yìí language oko ẹrú ni. Yes, oko ẹrú ṣì ni. Ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. All the Yorùbá nation. No going back. No retreat, no surrender.
No
All the
retreat,
Yorùbá nation.
no
All the
surrender.
Yorùbá nation. All the Yorùbá nation. Ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my brother. The voice of the Yoruba nation. I want you to know why I need the voice, but the real voice is Ijaya Ijaya. So let's play the anthem. Efarabale Kewo topic, and do not distract me. Do not call, because when I'm live, do not call and distract. Actually, lórí Yoruba nation no. About what platform you go to those platforms and go and disturb them. You sit back. If you're not interested to be here, we don't beg you to be here. There are so many platforms. Facebook upload. Social media, there's about 1 billion videos they are uploading on a daily basis. So typically, you get the hell out and go and sit somewhere else where they are doing all the nonsense they are doing there. But when you come on Koiki Media, you sit back and you listen. Don't come and distract us here, because mad people look what you know, especially those of you that doesn't understand how things work around the world. Let's play our anthem before we kickstart, and then we will prepare and get ready for the program. And in the 15th, in the 15th day of the month, 15th day of the month, and the 15th day of the month. As I'm ready to educate my people again. First and foremost, this is my journalist press card. Whatever costs with you is not just off-head. Èmi náà máa lọ ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó jẹ́ àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n. When we're talking about a country, when we are talking about a nation, sorry, this is my official press card. Don't gbé mi wọ anywhere tí bá fẹ́ wọ̀ nínú UK. Don't compare me with all these your nonsense people that sit back and they are telling you, I want to back country. I want to shake in kan. Right? Mo tún ti lọ béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n, àwọn tó jẹ́ senior journalists tó wà ní UK. Báwo la ṣe ń gba country? Ọ̀nà wo nìyàn fi ń gba country? Process wo ló fi ń gba country? Kò ṣe pé kí èèyàn kàn jáde kó máa pe Ọlọ́run kọ́ ló fi ń gba country. It doesn't work like that in reality. Gbogbo nonsense yẹn ẹgbẹ́sẹ́gbẹ́. So these indicate the person. So let's start with our anthem and we go straight into the conversation this morning. Iṣẹ́ wà fún ilẹ̀ wa orílẹ̀-èdè. Àgbéga. Ìgbàgbọ́ láti bí ẹrú. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́. Tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtúntò tó dára ọmọ Odùduwà. Ó sì ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. And I welcome you to Koiki Media live broadcast. I hope we àlàáfíà ni mo bá each and every one of you, wherever you are around the world. When we talk about a nation, I'm not after time to be mentioning names. People at Aroy, as you can see, when we ask you to donate, support Koiki Media, I remember before all these papers were free, especially this is the Metro newspaper. Eri Gbogbo advert of Isilara. This is Tesco. One of the, let me see the revenue to Tesco make. Profit one. Tesco. Profit. Tesco profit. I don't know what the stock market. You know, Tesco is a big brand. They have about 330,000 workers. 330,000. Company is a big brand. But Tiwa Oba Polowo Jayi, they also have rivals. Be our not share ni rival Lori Media. So everybody is just trying to be the best. But like I said, don't compare me with anybody, because I am a different breed completely. Showari advert to see paper. Should we put cover? These media to jẹ́ Metro inisi kò sí tó kàn wọ́n pẹ̀lú Yorùbá Nation. Bá pariwo títí dọ̀la, bó ṣó mọ̀ pé reach tí wọ́n, it goes around the whole of England, if not Scotland, Wales. Mo mọ̀ bí wọ́n deliver débẹ̀, but at least gbogbo England You can go out this morning and pick up this paper and read it. But àwọn tó ń sanwó ẹ̀ òun làwọn eléyìí. And that organization was founded in 1919, just about 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, just 5 years before káwọn British kan tó kó gbogbo àmọ́ ìdọ̀tí táwa nú ẹ̀. Tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn company, àwọn organization tó wà nínú Nàìjíríà kó tó di pé Nàìjíríà wáyé, tó bá yẹ pé a wà nínú system tó yẹ pé àwa la ní system tó dọ̀rọ̀ tiwa, probability wà pé àwọn organization ẹ̀ ṣì máa wà títí dé èní. But it was destroyed purposely by the British and the Northerner just to make sure pé àwa Yorùbá are propelled in the world. Lóòótọ́, we are doing bit and bit, bit and bit there and there, but not as much as we are meant to be doing. À ń ṣe síbí ṣe sọ́hùn. But ǹjẹ́ United Nations, ọ̀nà wo ni United Nations máa fi bá wa dá sí tá bá fẹ́ gba country? Kí ni process, kí ni procedure? Ṣé èèyàn kan máa jí láàárọ̀ wá kó sọ pé Ọlọ́run o ti gba country fún mi o, Ọlọ́run ẹ lọ máa dúpẹ́ kẹ́ lọ máa yọ̀, ẹ lọ máa pe Jésù Kristi, ẹ lọ máa pe níṣẹ̀ṣe, ẹ lọ máa pa Ànábì. It doesn't work like that in reality. Ọlọ́run kan ló fihàn ní nation. Èèyàn lè bẹ Olódùmarè pé Ọlọ́run jọ̀ọ́ ìrìn àjò tá à ń rìn yìí bá wa jẹ́ kó bọ́ sí, bọ̀ kéèyàn kan wá jáde kó sọ pé Ọlọ́run ti gba nation fún wa. It's all bloody nonsense in the reality of the world today. Even tí a bá jà gan sef, even tá a bá jà, Ọlọ́run kan ló máa gba nation yẹn. A sì máa tún padà sórí round table. Kò sílùú kan tí wọ́n máa jà pé wọ́n fẹ́ lọ, ẹ sì máa tún padà sórí round table discussion, because àwọn kankan ti link it together when you were that country. So ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa support láàárọ̀ ẹ̀, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ support. Torí pé metro yìí nísìnyí, àwọn tó kú ni wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀. Ẹni tó pààyàn yẹn wọ́n ní West Africa ni. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti ní West Africa, àìtí mọ̀ bíá Nàìjíríà ni, àìtí mọ̀ bíá Ghana ni, anywhere in West Africa. Wọ́n ìtí fún wa ní breakdown ẹ̀. I'm talking about ẹni tó pa àwọn mẹ́ta, 3 people died. Kọ́lọ̀ fọ́run kẹ́ wọn. But also in Nigeria, we lost 21 people. So tí bá wá jáde tí mo ní ẹ donate, ẹ support wa. Electricity ni mo ń bọ́n ní bíbá. Ní university tó ti ń ṣe lecture, government ló ń fund ẹ̀. So tálẹ̀ expect pé kó máa fund the media tó fẹ́ máa propel, tó fẹ́ máa promote, tó fẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí one particular topic láti Monday títí di Saturday títí di Sunday for 365 days. No, tálẹ̀ yín rò pé yẹ kó support ẹ̀. Tálẹ̀ yín rò pé yẹ kó fund ẹ̀. Ṣé feel pé Tesco máa fund mi? Tí bá lọ sọ fún Tesco nísìn pé wàá polówó ọjà pẹ̀lú mi o, mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation, mo fẹ́ break Nàìjíríà. Ǹjẹ́ o rò pé Tesco máa fún mi láyè yẹn? Nítorí pé Tesco tẹ́yìn ṣe rọra bó ṣe rọra wà yẹn, àwọn náà ní resources tó ń gbà lára part of the West Africa or Nigeria. So when we talk about United Nations, kí ni United Nations? Ṣé United Nations ló máa ń fúnyàn ní country? No. Gbogbo ẹ̀ la máa discuss láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. So if you are going to support again this morning, it's never ending. Ṣé orí paper yìí náà bó ṣe wà yìí nísìn? Wọ́n máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa sport, wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa debt, kí ló tún sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀? Oríṣiríṣi advert. Each of these advert ó lè tán sọ fún wọn bó ṣe rọra kéré tó ní small piece, but àwa refuse láti ṣe advert because tá bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe advert ó máa take me away from the reality of what we are doing, and that's why àwọn tó ń ṣe advert lórí platform wọn, there's nothing wrong in it. It's the right thing to do. But èmi ti dé stage pé a ti sọ lórí team wa pé no, we will not take any advert. And that is why we are always asking, ẹ support wa, ẹ support wa, ẹ support. So that support yẹn la máa fi máa project in tá à ń ṣe lọ. So when we look at Tesco, ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú, sales wọn ní so far, Tesco see sales rise. Farabalẹ̀ kó gbọ́n tí mò ń sọ yìí. One company ní UK one organization don't employ over 330,000 people. Ǹjẹ́ ní any organization in Nigeria, ǹjẹ́ ní company kankan tó employ 330,000 people? Èyí tẹ́ wà lórí program pẹ̀lú mi. Do we have any company? And the lecturer náà máa ń mu tea tó bá lọ sínú lecture room. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń ní tea break. University ìlú ìmú like you. And the 15-minute tea break, olùkàlùkù àṣẹ lọ mu tea. Àwọn òyìnbó, àmú tea. Tea yìí náà ṣáá ni. Once again, a very good morning and welcome. This is Koiki Media Live. Do we have any organization in Nigeria to employ to the tune of 330,000 people? I don't think so. No. Because into my organization, láti employ that amount, ó máa láti ní branches around the whole Nigeria. To the mama operate, to the mama for any profit. In their more profit, it's Tesco make. They are not losing. Tesco actually made 56.7 billion pounds sterling. And to buy the face support, whatever film mobile the face support they see, and they come on. I think I need a little bit more lighting because I can see that it's still a little bit dark. Èmi ò dẹ̀ ń ṣe virus woman yẹn òun ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ nínú òkùnkùn èmi ò mọ ibi tí èèyàn ti fi gba country tó wá ń bá àwọn èèyàn tó fi gba country yẹn ìwà wá jókòó sínú darkness níbi tí ayé délé lù jẹ́ rí pé ìgẹ́ta sí bí òun lọ̀rọ̀ ìyàwó èrè yẹn so èmi ò dẹ̀ like darkness so I'm going to bó mo fẹ́ gbé sí tó máa clear ǹjẹ́ fẹ́ kí cable yẹn máa show so maybe we should just do it like this. Show bright there. Ṣé kò bright púpọ̀? Okay, let's do it this way. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we don't go bright there. Muhammad, tẹ́yìn tẹ́wà lórí bíbá tó bá ti bright jù fún yẹn má bínú. Maybe I should move this a little bit forward. So kò má wà tó because ó dàbí wà tẹ́ pé orí yín ni iná yẹn wà. Ẹlòmíì bó ṣe wà yẹn nísìn inú kitchen mi ló ń study láti jọ́ ta ti ń ṣe program ní bíbá a máa wo gbogbo ẹ̀ báyìí wèrè ìyẹn ni kò tó kò lé lórí kitchen tó lóúnjẹ tó ní gbogbo ẹ̀ ìyẹn ni kò máa wò ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ má tètè máa gbọ́n tí mò ń sọ bá ṣe máa kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Once again a very good morning. Tesco ká tó wọnú ọ̀rọ̀ United Nations. Boss of Tesco refute which claim the supermarket giant has been doing very well. Doing very well. How can a company be doing very well and Nigeria tó yẹ kó jẹ́ country? Màá pè é padà tí bá parí program. Mo ti get message ẹ̀. O ní láti post ẹ̀. Màá pè é tí bá ṣe tán. Company ó ń ṣe data ju country lọ. Company ó ń ṣe data ju country kan lọ. I mean, Nigeria is a country. That's what we are told, even though we are different nation and different people. But in other part, we are all one. We are not one, and we can never be one. It doesn't matter how much you might parọ́ fún yín, irọ́ pé Nigeria is one. We are not one. But kí ló dé tí organization yìí tó ń pè ní Tesco sales wọn is about 56.7 billion. Tesco sales rose by 5% ní last year. Kò ń ṣe year yìí o, ẹ mọ̀ pé year iṣẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. Ní 2022, Tesco made 56.7 billion pounds sterling. 1919 ló dá ilé-iṣẹ́ ìsílẹ̀. I don't have to go into the history, but ó dà ń pé ti Sainsbury's yẹn Sainsbury's ó dà ń pé bí abínú bí Carboot ló ti dá sílẹ̀ mo kíyà tó bí mi lọ́mọ bí n tẹ̀ kí gbogbo èèyàn gbogbo rẹ̀ kíyà mi mo rẹ̀ kí àwọn ìyàwó mi àtàwọn ọmọ mi mo kí bàbá Akíntóyè mo kí bàbá Akíntóyè dáadáa the oracle of our time bàbá tó ń wo projection pé the more tá bá pẹ́ sínú Nàìjíríà a lè ní company báyìí tó máa employ 330,000. Kò ń ṣe pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ò lè employ, kò ń ṣe pé àárá àwọn tó yẹ pé wọ́n lè form organization or partnership l'Amẹ́ríkà, New Zealand, Australia, wọ́n máa lọ wá investors, wọ́n máa kó gbogbo wọn wá project nǹkan kan sínú Ondo, wá replicate l'Ogun State, ní Kwara, Ekiti, Ọ̀ṣun, Lagos, and they can be making almost the same thing. But Nigeria ni kò jẹ́ kó jẹ́ kó ṣe. Nigeria ni kò jẹ́ kí wọ́n lè ṣe. Nigeria, ẹ má worry nípa screen. Èmi lèmi ní screen, ẹ̀yin ò need the screen. Ọ̀rọ̀ ojú tèmi lẹ́yìn need. Screen yẹn kọ́ ló matter, ẹ má worry nípa screen. That is for lecturer lónìí yẹn. Èmi ni lecturer, ẹ̀yin ni student. Èyí tá bá fẹ́ kí student rí, a gbé big screen jáde. Tá bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ big screen, àtúnṣe máa rọra, mo lè máa gbé TV yàrá mi wá láti òkè wá sísàlẹ̀. Àwara TV mi ni. So that because tí ìyàwó mi bá lọ déjọ́ kan, tí bá ti lọ fọ́ TV yẹn kó tó dé, á bi mí pé kí ló dé. Media needs a lot of things. So a lè ra projector. We are trying to do things that will make it easy for you. So mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. My name is Olawumi Koiki. Let's leave ọ̀rọ̀ Tesco alone. Let's come to United Nations. United Nations. Tá bá sọ pé United Nations. Ìjọ tó dá United Nations sílẹ̀. United Nations was founded on the 24th of October 1945. Ni wọ́n dá sílẹ̀. 1945 ni wọ́n dá ẹgbẹ́ tó ń pè ní United Nations. 1945 ló dá sílẹ̀. Kí ni reason tó ṣe dá sílẹ̀? Kí ni purpose tó fi dá sílẹ̀? Kí ni ìdí tí wọ́n ṣe dá United Nations, ìyẹn organization yẹn, kí ló dé tó ṣe dá sílẹ̀? Kí ni significance ẹ̀? Kí ni purpose ẹ̀? Iṣẹ́ wo gan ló yẹ kí United Nations ṣe? As many people ẹ kò gbọ́ United Nations along the line lórí Yorùbá Nation, ọ̀ọ́ká ti gbọ́ níbi tí Fẹlá ti kọrin who and who United Nations parapampa. They have 5 permanent Security Council. It is just about a few minutes before 9. Ǹjẹ́ United Nations kò lè recognize anybody tó bá sọ pé a ti ní country tiwa, United Nations had to endorse it, and that would just be like that. Ǹjẹ́ ó ní process? Let's first talk about United Nations. Headquarters ẹ̀ wà ní New York, founded by United States, India, United Kingdom, France, Brazil. Let me go back a little bit. As the World War II, gbogbo ara ti máa gbọ́ ogun kan tó ń pè ní World War I. Thank you, Mr. Clement. World War II. We are praying that we kò ní sí World War III. If World War III bá ṣẹlẹ̀, it will be disaster, but it will also mean that by the time tí ogun yẹn máa fi parí, ó máa take 10 years ní, because tí ogun gidi bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ between country to country, bí a ṣe ń project Russia àti Ukraine, ogun yẹn ò tí wálẹ̀, is still an ongoing fight. I'm talking about ogun Ukraine. That could lead to a World War III. But in the process, àìtí ní World War III. But after tí wọ́n jà ogun World War II to end in 1945, nations were ruined. Tá bá sọ pé nǹkan ruins, nǹkan bàjẹ́ rẹ́rẹ́ rún gan. After ogun World War II, that led to the world wanted a peace. Peace yẹn nísìnyí, wọ́n ti ń kúrò ní ìlànà peace. Because now America is doing his own thing, North Korea is doing his own thing, China is doing his own thing, everybody is doing their own thing. So there is now olúkálùkù fẹ́ já power gbà. Ayé ti rotate. Ayé, this world is rotating. agbára máa kúrò láwọn ibì kan ó fẹ́ padà síbì kan. Yorùbá part is part of that. O lè máa mọ̀ ilẹ̀ tó ń pè nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, power láti shift padà wá síbẹ̀, power láti padà sọ́dọ̀ tiwa náà. Àwọn òyìnbó ti rí, wọ́n ti rí nínú afẹ́fẹ́, wọ́n ti rí nínú atẹ́gùn, wọ́n ti rí nínú ẹ̀mí, wọ́n ti rí níbi tí ìwọ gan ò ní làákàyè tí mind ẹ̀ ò lè gbé débẹ̀, àwọn ti rí. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé the power is returning back somewhere. The energy is moving back. But gbogbo tó lè ṣe ni pé wọ́n lè slow it down as much as possible, but kò sẹ́ni kankan tó lè stop that breakup of Nigeria. The breakup of Nigeria is going to happen. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó lè stop it. America bó ṣe lágbára tó kò lè stop it. UK bó ṣe wà very very, after the 200 years of the empire, wọ́n lè stop it. Kò sí ẹ̀dá nìkan láyé yìí tó lè stop pé Nigeria ò ní pín. Àsìkò àti ìgbà nìkan la mọ̀. Àmọ́ báwo ni process yẹn ṣe fẹ́ work? Ọ̀nà wo ló máa gbà work? At the moment, representative of 50 countries after the World War II in 1945 were gathered at the United Nations Conference on International Organization in San Francisco, ní California, from 25th of April títí di 26th of June, calculated April, May, June. So for almost 2 months, àgbájọ ayé 50 of them stood together, talked together, and they started talking. How do we make sure that there is peace in the world? Báwo la ṣe fẹ́ make sure pé when people want to step on each other, àwọn kan máa dìde láti sọ pé no, America ń lọ ṣe èyí tó yẹ kó favour wọn, ìyẹn ni wọ́n ṣe dá sí àwọn ibì kan. But ṣé wọ́n máa dá sí ti Nàìjíríà? Maybe not, maybe yes, time will tell. Because we know that some of these countries are playing that, fẹ́ dá sí. But at the appropriate time, through negotiation, let me just use that word, through negotiation, they will have no other choice than to get involved. But for now, they're just looking. If you think that the world does not know what is going on in Nigeria in terms of the breakup, then no. It's just a matter of how soon and when. That is the question. No, you are not yet in that country. We are still propelling it. We are still pushing for it. We are asking for it, which is our right under the United Nations itself. For the next 2 months, after Oṣù Méjì, they proceed to draft. Sori, ẹ̀yin tí à ń fi ọ̀rọ̀ tó lójoojúmọ́, you can't just come out and say you are doing something without a draft. Kí ló ń pè ní draft? Draft ni pé àkọ́kọ́ máa gbé yẹ̀wò pé tá bá draft ẹ̀ tán, á wá lọ sínú pé wọ́n máa vote. Nínú voting yẹn ló máa wá bring it out. The reason why we are saying that nobody voted or drafted the 1999 Constitution is because àwọn kan ló jókòó within themselves, wrote that Constitution and forced it on Nigeria. Now what they are doing is wọ́n ṣe amendment of a fake military dictate of 1999 Constitution. Because the Constitution that we have presently, nobody voted for it. I will be talking about the Mali Constitution. Maybe I should just talk about it a little bit. So that wàá lè ní understanding kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ní Mali. They are now thinking of the change of their constitution. Mali There is something going on in Mali. Maybe you don't know. Military don't control wọn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìnyí. But there is something about to change in Mali. And I'll give you a brief of that. What do we know? The Constitution provides for multi-party democracy with the only prohibition against party on ethnic, gender, regional, religious ground. The Constitution states that Mali adheres to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Did you hear that word? The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which Nigeria is also part of. So Nigeria, they feel they have the power, but they also have the right under that declaration. But ibi tí mo fẹ́ lò kọ́ nìyẹn. Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan ní Mali? Let me tell you a little bit. According to Malian soldier cast ballot during early voting ahead of constitutional referendum. Into the káwọn tó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, nílẹ̀ Igbo, everybody should have been demanding for the change of the 1999 constitution, but they all kept quiet because inú ibẹ̀ ló ti ń jẹ. They are all being funded from that corrupt system. Because the 1999 constitution, we should have got a referendum to change that constitution after 8 years of the first democracy returned back from 1999 to 2007. So the next set of àwọn olóṣèlú tó fẹ́ wá, they should have been demanding for a better referendum, and that referendum means that me and you will vote, but there will both be a first draft. Everybody will have a draft. You cannot say you are doing anything in this DNA world that we are living and just say, oh, you don't have a paper. You must have a white paper to read and study. That white paper yẹn ló máa fi wá move further láti lè ṣe tó fẹ́ ṣe. But what we are now getting is, Ọlọ́run ti gba country fún wa, àti gba country. That itself is a nonsense. If anybody still listen to that rubbish, you are also a lost generation. There is always a draft. There is always a process. So, let's see.
Members of Mali's security forces have cast their ballots during early voting ahead of the new constitution referendum. The referendum, slated for Sunday, June 18, is a major milestone on the road to elections promised for February 2024. On Sunday, soldiers cast their ballots in Bamako in early voting. I'm very happy to be the first.
This is what they call a due diligence. This is what they call a process. Ìwọ tá à ń sọ fún ìwà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀wà, bó wà pẹ̀lú mi, bó sì pẹ̀lú mi. I mention your name all the time. I love you, my beautiful auntie, and God bless the grandchildren. Yourself and Yeyoge, those two beautiful names are something that the history will remember because, thank you so much, a beautiful sister. So, process to Nigeria wà lélẹ̀. As far back as 2007, we should have demand for a new constitution. But what they are doing is you cannot amend something that started as a military dictat. Even Robert Clark told us that. And when Mali had a constitution and they are now voting ahead of the Sunday, our soldier team vote. Because soldier so that while they want to protect the remaining set of people that will do the same thing. But in Nigeria, nobody's talking about the constitution. Nobody is talking about the constitution that should be part of the first process, whether we want to remain together or not. Okay, if we want to remain in Nigeria as one entity, bring down the 1999 constitution, and then we can then think of. And for those of you that want to support us, whenever you are seeing when they're posting that is my back end team. So that I don't post the Kiniko Media. No, and you don't post it, if more assign and see about my post it. So you can donate, it's voluntary. And with those donations, like I said, we are not the metro that has only God knows how much Tesco is paying them. Well, it's in the contract, it could be £500,000, they will have a quarter or 2 quarters. Tesco ló gba wájú àtẹ̀yìn. Imagine full page. And I told you at the beginning of the broadcast, Tesco is employing 330,000 people across the whole of the network in UK. Their profit last year is about £56 billion. We can have the same thing, but it's not going to happen in Nigeria. So the question now is, because I'm not going to say too much on this Mali, but kí ló dé tí Mali fẹ́ change the constitution wọn? So when people say that things is not going to happen, it's because of Nigeria, God, no, if God sílẹ̀, things must be done, and it has to be done. But it's just that àwọn tó jẹ́ tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa, they are not ready to change anything. Because if Mali, keep the population Mali, if Mali is trying to change a constitution, How come Nigeria doesn't want to do the same thing? It's because Nigeria is just a crime scene. The whole population of Mali is 21.9 million. Mali is not even up to Lagos State. And they are already projecting, is there. We just watched that video. Let's watch it again without interruption. Let me move it back and let's listen again.
Members of Mali's security forces have cast their ballots during early voting ahead of the new constitution referendum. The referendum, slated for Sunday, June 18, is a major milestone on the road to elections promised for February 2024. On Sunday, soldiers cast their ballots in Bamako in early voting. I'm very happy to be the first voter in my capacity as the regiment commander, and I'm very proud to have fulfilled my civic duty, and I urge all my colleagues to come and vote. The draft constitution significantly strengthens the power of the president.
Did you hear that? The draft constitution. There must always be a draft. Let's go back to United Nations, but let me just read some of this article. Members of the Mali Security Force have cast their vote during the early voting ahead of a new, not a hold, a new constitution referendum. Nigeria is saying that there is no referendum in the 1999 constitution. So those of us that agitate, we should go and shut up. Then let's bring down this shit oak 1999 constitution because it's a military diktat. And when we are going to draft a new constitution, we will put it inside it to allow a referendum, just as Scotland said by referendum. Wọ́n vote in 2014, but they were deceived by the government of the party that was in power, which is conservative. They vote against it, in the UK, they will remain in EU. 2 years after that, the English were smart. Vote that you will remain with us. But during the time we will now go and vote for EU, we will remain in EU. They deceived the Scottish. That is why the Scottish, on the 24th of June, they're having another massive outing. They had one, Nibati King in coronation. On the 24th of June, the Scottish people are coming out again for another massive protest, which is the same thing I've been telling people, that the only way you can engage a government is protest, dialogue, education, awareness, and continuity of what we are demanding for. But if everybody is saying, Koiki no, in the 1999 constitution, referendum clause, can vote against whether we still want to remain in Nigeria. The first thing we should be talking about is bring down that fucking shit old 1999 constitution, because it is the reason why we are not getting a referendum. And if you do not get a referendum, then there will be dasbos in the end of the day. But for now, there is still a non-violent movement, which negotiation will continue with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So when people are saying that, it's like, our man sorrow with referendum. If they can vote in Nigeria, whether that voting system was perfect or not, we can do the same thing by doing the same thing. Let people go and vote for a new constitution. But before you do that, draft. Olukaluku maka draft yen. No, constitution yi, because constitution yo share 419 constitution. But nobody did that after 1999. Even Obasanjo funra re constitution. He was sworn in as a president without a constitution. And everybody knows that. The intelligent people know that. They're looking at me like that. But everybody just keep quiet. And they are now saying, Awata agitate. We cannot be agitating when the 1999 constitution does not have a referendum clause. The question is that a legitimate constitution? Is that a legitimate constitution? That, number one, is a flag under United Nations. So United Nations that we are now talking about, let's go back a little bit. So when we talk about the United Nations, I think more understanding how United Nations was formed, I think understanding it, for 4 months after the San Francisco conference ended, United Nations officially, Yoruba within the country. When Yoruba have their own country, Amalo officially, kò ní sí ìjọba ọlọ́pàá Nigeria mọ́, kò ní sí ìjọba ọlọ́pàá Nigeria àti sójà. We would then have the Nigerian flag officially, awasisale. As long as the Nigerian flag is still, let me say something. Do you know that the Nigerian flag is still flying across the world, even in United Nations? And you want a Tigba country, you must be crazy. Whoever is thinking in that direction, Nigerian flag is still flying. Go about there, fly that, because we know the only Nigerian flag is the one that doesn't move like that. But for the fact that the flag is still up there, only but the flag officially, and then the Yoruba flag goes up, that means that there's no more Nigeria. That means that we have a country. But for now, we don't have anything called a country. So when those that are now saying to us that, hey, which Yoruba nation and Biafra in the fight for? The 1999 constitution is not our own constitution. It was written by the blood-sucking monster called Abdulsalam Abubakar and the rest of those people that wrote it. But Nigerians are now saying, oh, let us manage the... No, the reason why you are having a fraud in the current election is still boiled back to the 1999 constitution. Is giving some people upper edge against the remaining indigenous people. Our indigenous people, Toku, constitution here, on subjugate wa mole, on marginalize wa, but it is so easy to draft a new constitution and let people go and vote for that new constitution. But before we vote, we will all read it in our own language to understand it. How many people understand the constitution? It's because it is your right to be protected. Only the soldier could protect you against terrorists is because the soldier doesn't see as their right to protect you. Even they might be telling you that they've spent billions of dollars protecting Nigerians. But we know that Buratai, the criminal, I don't know why Tinubu is still waiting for Buratai. Bring Buratai back under the EFCC, put him in the DSS custody, and let him start talking, because he was there as a chief of army staff and allowed so many innocent Nigerian soldiers to die. He's a bomb bastard. They need to bring him back just as he has done with the EFCC chairman. I say, Tinubu, start dealing with every single one of them, especially Buratai. Ojekoti recall Buratai, because Buratai can run away. Buratai can run away and we will never know where he is. Tinubu, you are wasting too much time. Bring Buratai back so that he does not have access to travel. Ambassador Kokomo, Benin Republic. Bring him back. Just tell him to come and see you. That's all. You are the leader of the president now. Just tell Buratai by a phone call, I want you to be in Abuja first thing tomorrow morning and detain him there. Because Buratai was crime against humanity. Even after or not we want Yoruba nation, Buratai must pay for every damage that the Nigerian soldiers could not enjoy with all the money he stole. Working Pastor Emmanuel, we are talking about the United Nations. So after Oshumeri, United Nations officially, Tinubu officially started the operation of Nigeria from the 29th, and you are now saying that you have a country inside the same country. You must be crazy. Whoever is saying that any country, Tinubu officially run in Nigeria, that means injections in brain Tinubu ti ṣe country law, and to answer any country in that same country. Oh my God. How gullible are Yoruba people? How they say we're gullible? How did you get there? Do you know that Tinubu has officially started running the government from 29? And to answer that same country, in your country, not in any country here. And Yoruba people believe that nonsense in 2023? We're in the lecture room. Good morning to all our students. Students will not support the lecturer, not by sleeping with me, by donating. I tell any company to donate láàárọ̀ kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ bá wa jà ni. Ẹ kàn sọ pé great analysis iná ni mo tàn sílẹ̀ náà internet. Ẹ mọ̀ pé tí n bá níná tí àwọn mi bá pè mí nísìn pé iná inú ilé máa kú orí phone láti máa ń sọ. We are spending èmi ni mo ń jẹ́ kó máa náwó tó jù nínú ilé, because I keep switching this on every day. Every day tí máa ti tàn ó ní iná tó ń jẹ. Kòkòrò rán mi iṣẹ́, but ó accept pé tí mò ń ṣe the right thing ni òun ti lọ́bì. Ṣé nísìn ìyàwó mi ni kó tún máa sanwó ná? Nígbà tó yẹ pé mi mò ń fi iná bá Yorùbá nation, so ó rán mi iṣẹ́. Àbọ̀ mọ̀ pé every time tá a bá tanná nínú UK of kò ń ṣọ̀fẹ́. So I support. Let's continue with the lecture. We are 16 minutes past. And tó bá fẹ́ take a break. Èmi náà rán take a break ni. Ẹ bá máa ń ṣe London nìyẹn. Kò ń ṣe gbùdùgbùdùgbùdù náà. Wàá máa take a break. Wàá take it slowly there. Thank you so much so far, those of you that have joined. If Mali is 21 million and they are already conducting a new constitution. So Nigeria yẹn àwa máa sọ pé Ọlọ́run ní ká má gba constitution mi. No, ṣé Ọlọ́run ló tún sọ pé ká má ní constitution tó máa favor wa. Do you know that you cannot do anything with the 1999 constitution? How many of you know that? Mo mọ̀ pé gbogbo yín mọ̀. Let's see if we can get. Ṣé kìíní yóò charge me? Okay, we charge. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo ká kàn gbọ́ nípa 1999 constitution from one of our own leaders as well. When I say leader, it could be anybody. Ẹni tó bá ti dàgbà jù lọ ní Nàìjíríà, leaders náà ni. Ṣé ká gbọ́ ti bàbá Afẹ́ Babalọ́lá? Man like Timai ni mo like. Professor Akin Oyebode. Tó bá pèèyàn ní professor. Professor is not a mind. Let's hear what he's saying here about the 1999 constitution.
To immoral conduct. Then we justify that particular conduct. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And quite sincerely, the judges too, they have part of the blame, but they don't have all the blame. The problem, I think, like the Patriots pointed out a long time ago, is that Constitution, Decree 24 of 1999, is a diktat. It's a military diktat. It tells a lie against itself. What you are brandishing as a
Ẹ bá mi ṣe àdúrà fún bàbá wa Professor Akin Oyebode, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tàtà. I don't know where he is. I hope he's there in a good health and still sounding. Ẹ bá mi ṣe àdúrà fún bàbá yìí. The 1999 constitution lies against itself. So when people are saying this agitation doesn't have any ground, because Constitution Nigeria is bad. Constitution Nigeria would continue because the Constitution knows that at some point Nigeria will start asking questions because we are becoming much more closer and we are becoming more exposed. Exposed. I'm not talking about the illiterate idiot. I think I know the word illiterate, but the gullible ones that are saying that we have a country. No, I'm not talking about that. I flew with plane to this country. I'm sorry to say, I'm not those that went through the ship. Or the plane looked me the UK in 1998. I flew to Gatwick Airport from Lagos. So that alone is an exposure for me. I want to confront the UK. Do you know that about 77 people died in Cyprus? Are you following the news? 77 people died trying to cross from wherever they're coming through to Cyprus. And when I was watching that news, I said, they may continue to law. But in Kwara State as well, there was another ship boat capsized with 110 people. Ìyàtọ̀ kan ní pé àwọn tí Kwara, àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ travel was abroad, but they were moving from one village to another village with 270 people in a boat that we believe that probably is Rakatia. Is part of the problem. So when we are now talking that we want Yoruba nation, some people are saying, no, shut up. You cannot ask for Yoruba nation because the 1999 constitution does not have it. But that constitution is not there for me because what right there. So that they purposely did not put the clause to allow us for a referendum. Because if the 1999 constitution that was drafted and I read it before it was put as a law that will be used to govern us and me and everybody, we would have asked for the clause for referendum maybe every 4 years, every 10 years, and we will wait. But that constitution would then allow us to go into a full scale of awareness by telling our people on the ground that Nigeria is not for us because the constitution said that we can go. But today now, the constitution does not say so because it is deliberately acted in that way. It tells lies against itself. Only Professor King, but there's something by now. So táwọn yẹn bá wọn sọ fún wa pé ní right. No, ní right because the constitution is telling lies against itself. Salamu alaikum to every Muslim, mo kẹ́yìn Christian, mo kẹ́yìn aláwo. ẹ jẹ́ ká túbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
If Nigerians are complacent and they will not stand up to immoral conduct, then we justify that particular conduct. Becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And quite sincerely, the judges too, they have part of the blame, but they don't have all the blame.
And this man is a professor of international law and jurisprudence. So, kémi wá sọ fún bàbá yìí pé, Mr. Professor, àti gba country. Bàbá yìí kọ́kọ́ béèrè pé, ṣé ẹ normal ṣá èèyàn ọmọ tẹ́ wà lórí social media? Because in tó máa sọ fún wa nìyẹn, even though we have not had any one of these people talking about, but our bàbá yìí, in táwọn kọ́kọ́ fi ṣe ni pé, let's bring down that constitution. Tá bá bring it down, it might give us the peace a little bit. Like some people are asking for that regional government, the restructure. But because the constitution itself is not working in that direction, so I want to know the constitution. We cannot move this country forward with this constitution. And it is lies if anybody thinks that Bola Tinubu will work and fix Nigeria with the same constitution that Professor Aki Oyebode is talking about. Boba Tinubu kó fi gbogbo àwọn best people around the world into his government. He will work with that same constitution until Tinubu asked for a draft of a new constitution, pull down the 1999 constitution, and then allow us to vet and read the draft of that new constitution. We will then know that we are on that step of removing that constitution. But if Tinubu ò ti ṣe anything of such, it will just be there as a waste of time. Okay, grandma. Boba Tinubu tó bá ti lè lọ in the line of Mali láti pull down constitution here is a waste of time. He's the president. Whether the Senate will now accept it is another different thing. Tinubu can propose for it. Whether our senator, àwọn tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ northerners, àwọn ló máa fẹ́ wá against it. Because Tinubu can only bá àwọn títí ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ náà, àwọn southwest. Ẹ wá ń bí báyìí. Ẹ súnmọ́ mi, ẹ jà ṣe late night conversation. And Tinubu will talk to them. Ẹ lọ sí Senate. Ẹ lọ project fún a bring down of that 1999 constitution. Ṣé àwọn northerners máa accept it? I don't know. Maybe not, maybe. I cannot say. And that will be like the step. Because if not, we will continue our own push, but the country you are calling Nigeria is going into a ditch. And that is why we got to be very careful. Because gbogbo àwọn èèyàn sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ violent, ẹ fẹ́ kó dìjà, ṣé kí ni máa dìjà? No, kí ló fẹ́ dìjà fún? When we are going through the non-violent way that the United Nations is talking about. So let's quickly move away from Professor and then go back to United Nations.
I think like the Patriots pointed out a long time ago, is that Constitution, Decree 24 of 1999, is a diktat. It's a military diktat. It tells a lie against itself. What you are brandishing as the Constitution of Nigeria. It's an illegitimate instrument. There's nowhere where we all agree that would be even though it begins with we the people.
Oh, shut up, bomb bastard. These are the journalists that we should be pointing finger at. Everyone was something. Brown envelope woman. I'm sure. This idiot is talking about we the people. We the people. So, but go on channels now. Where the moment channel goes live, you will see 5,000K view. They are hey, Nigeria. I'm waiting. We the people. And when we. We. These are the lies you go and listen to every day. Lies upon lies. Only we the people.
That's the lie that I'm talking about.
That is the lie that we are talking about. Which was we, which one we? W-E, we. I want we. So you go on all these platforms. You know, all these influencers, all these educated idiots, all these PhD stupid people, they'll be telling you we have a constitution. We don't have a constitution, which is not we. It was a military dictator by Abdul Salam Abubakar. Let's mention his name. And the same people wants to save Nigeria. And you want to marginalize everybody, and you want us to remain peacefully inside, hey, Nigerians, kò sọ́gbọ́n ẹ̀. I don't want to scare you, but kò sí ọgbọ́n ẹ̀ bá ṣe lè ṣe, that country will break. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but it will not go longer than where we started from. And when I say where we started from, I'm talking about even as far back as 1960. Just to give you the back. You can't see Lloyd at Tibo with all the lies.
I'm not original here. The patriots have said it. Okay, and Ben Wagose continues to say it. I mean, I attend meetings on the Black Table where Ben Wagose.
Black Table. Negotiation. There will be negotiation between us, the agitator, and the federal government. There will be negotiation between the Biafra and the federal government. If they do not give room for negotiation, that means you are giving room for anarchy. It's as simple as that. If you do not give room for negotiation on the Black Table means that come and talk to us, set up a committee, let's start thinking about it, how it will materialize in a way that United Nations, it will not end up becoming a problem. So let's quickly go into it a little bit. Once again, this is countries not in the United Nations as at 2023. Yoruba nation sí nínú ẹ̀. So forget gbogbo jagba nonsense tí ìyá Dagboru yẹn sọ fún yín. Kò tí sí Yoruba nation nínú United Nations. So let me give you a quick background. The United Nations is the largest intergovernmental organization in the world, with a current membership of 193 member states and 2 permanent non-members observer states called Palestine and the Vatican City, or the Holy City, the Holy. So kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ Yorùbá nation nínú United Nations. Kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ Yorùbá nation nínú United Nations. Tó bá wà, á wà nínú data yìí. Don't be fooled by any ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run kankan. Àwọn ò ní fi ọ̀rọ̀ tí èèyàn pé Ọlọ́run ká tó wá máa fi ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ká tó fẹ́ fi knock Ọlọ́run. Ọlọ́run ò stupid. Ọlọ́run ò ṣe dọ̀msán. Ọlọ́run kì í ṣe dọ̀mdọ̀m. Ọlọ́run kì í ṣe puff-puff. Ọlọ́run kì í ṣe idiot bí Dúpẹ́ Onítìrì. Ọlọ́run kì í ṣe idiot bí ẹ̀yin mùmú tẹ́ wà lábẹ́. Tẹ́ ń fi Ọlọ́run tẹ́ fi sọ pé ti gba country. Kò sí kankan tó jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹni mi mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Kò sí Yorùbá nation. Àwọn tí mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ́ àwọn gbòógì nínú àwọn journalists. This is my press card. I just got a confirmation pé ṣé mo mọ tí mo sọ ṣá lọ síbí báyìí kó lọ bè kó lọ check fún ẹ now. The reference wọ́n fún mi níbi tí màá tún lọ reference padà sí as a journalist. And that is to tell you that whatever you are listening to on the social media pé Yorùbá nation ti wáyé is all lies. Kò síbi kankan tí Yorùbá nation ti exist. In terms of an official country, irọ́ ló wà ńbẹ̀. So, let's look at this. The United Nations is the largest intergovernmental organization in the world with a current membership of 193. We hope that kò ní pẹ́ mọ́ after all the process tí Yorùbá náà máa fi wà nínú ẹ̀. The recognition of a new state or government is an act that only other state and government may grant or withhold. It generally implies the readiness to assume diplomatic relationship. There must be a diplomatic relationship. Òun kọ lẹ́tà sí gbogbo àgbáyé, gbogbo yẹn fà bú ni irọ́ ló pa, kò sí kankan tó sọ pé ó kọ lẹ́tà sí gbogbo àgbáyé. The United Nations is neither a state not a government. United Nations tẹ́ ń gbọ́ lójoojúmọ́ tẹ́ ń gbọ́ tó fi ń parọ́ fún yín pé a ti gba country, a ti wà nínú ìlú wa, a ti ń ṣe Yorùbá nation, a ti gba United Nations camera. Kò síbì kankan tó jẹ́ pé United Nations ló facilitate the country. United Nations is not a government. Ẹni tó ń béèrè fún UK account wa, ẹ bá mi fi síbẹ̀, Tide ni. Ẹ bá tètè fi sẹ́ni yẹn. Ẹni tó bá ti ń béèrè wọ́n fẹ́ fún wa lówó, ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn tí ó ti ń débẹ̀ nìyẹn. Bó tẹ̀ jẹ́ yàn kan ló bá fún wa láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. For every 1 hour, tí bá lọ ṣiṣẹ́ níta, it cost me £10. More money. More. I know basic job will cost me £10 an hour. Tí bá lọ ṣiṣẹ́. But I am sacrificing the time that I have láti fi educate yín. Amaja, nija. Let's push as much of the diplomatic, which we are doing. And we believe that Bola Tinubu will listen. He has his time. Kwame Petoroni time. We will continue to educate you, but he will also have a timeline. But the timeline, Tony, for now is 4 years. After 4 years, those are not too bad. Another 4 years for me. I believe he's in Germany, bedridden. He's not doing very well. But and this world doesn't belong to anybody. So let's go further. So about the back end team, accounting, okay. So the United Nations can sorry, United Nations. 1945 ló dá ẹgbẹ́ yẹn sílẹ̀. Ìjọ oṣù méjì ni wọ́n lò tó fi kóra wọn papọ̀, tó fi sọ̀rọ̀, tó fi di pé formation ẹ̀ wáyé. Now, more than 75 years later, the United Nations is still working to maintain international peace and security and give humanitarian assistance to those in need of protect human rights and uphold international law. Nigeria will uphold international law because Nigeria is part of that 193 countries. So Nigeria will also, thank you so much, Eva. Nigeria ma understand that our the feto etonyan silori 1999 constitution because it's a military dictator. But if Tinubu is going to do the needful, pull down the 1999 constitution, include now a draft that would have the clause where any go out of Nigeria, one right. That would be the first step. From the diplomacy side of things, it will be processed. And one Mali team also they are now casting the vote. What in Babo, dear. But right now, the draft constitution, I'm reading from the Mali side of things now. A 121 million country. Mem Atikaben, Eleni, I am very happy to be the first voter in my capacity as the regiment commander. I am proud to have fulfilled my civic duty until we have a constitution that will provide the civic duty. If you like, go and vote every 4 years. Everybody go to cry because you are already marginalized in that same system. Moki baba Dr. Kebi Orukosi, kò ní bàjẹ́ fún bàbá mi. Ẹ ṣé ẹ kú tọ́jú Koiki Media. Ẹ dẹ̀ kú bẹ́ ṣe ń bá wa ṣe torí pé àwọn èèyàn fi jẹ́ ká di ọ̀rọ̀ ìjà. Diplomatic tó bá fẹ́ mọ̀ àwọn èmi ò ní time, àwọn bàbá yẹn ní time. They are training people already. Wọ́n prepare àwọn èèyàn. Kò ṣe pé àkànní Ọlọ́run ti gba country. No, train àwọn èèyàn so that they will be able to relay with you. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ṣe fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀, èmi lè má lè sọ̀rọ̀ báwọn ṣe fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ because èmi ti di radical journalist. Radical journalist wà gan-an. Wèrè journalist dẹ̀ wà. Because èmi ò fẹ́ wà diplomacy àti diplomatic, but mo gbọ́dọ̀ máa sọ fún yín pé ọ̀nà diplomacy wà tá lè fi pull out of Nigeria. Ọ̀nà diplomatic wà ẹ lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn Dr. Kebi Orukosi. Àwọn ló ń pè ní central office. Central office could have a virtual office. They can have a stable office, and it can happen around the world. They are just also trying to start pulling things together. àwọn òkè bí ọ̀run kò sí ti ń ṣe gbogbo ohun tí Dúpẹ́ wá sọ fún yín títí kan passport ẹ lọ béèrè Dr. Òkèrè bí ọ̀run kò sí wanted to do it before Dúpẹ́ came at all. Wọ́n ti make enquiry òun kò wá fi sweet talk ẹ̀ tó ti fi nǹkan sí lẹ́nu ó kàn fi wá convince gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá kò síbi kankan ẹni Kóìkì ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn àgbà journalist ló sọ fún mi pé ìjẹ́ mo mọ tí mò ń sọ nígbà tí mo communicate pẹ̀lú wọn pé àní àti gba Yorùbá nation wọ́n ní kò sí nǹkan kan tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn ò rí anywhere kò síbi kankan tí wọ́n reference Yorùbá nation as a country ní gbogbo àgbáyé bí ṣe máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nìí but wọ́n mọ ibi tí a jẹ́ wọ́n mọ̀ pé inú Nàìjíríà la wà tẹ́lẹ̀ kó tó di pé British ṣe màgòmágó wọ́n mọ̀ pé à agitate ìyẹn ni bàbá Akíntóyè ṣe lọ gbé wa sábẹ́ UNPO and what we are doing now is the push. So now the draft constitution àwọn Mali ti ń change the constitution wọn the draft constitution strengthen the power of the president and under it the president rather than the government appoint the prime minister and the ministers. The president also has the right to sack them as well as dissolve the parliament. In the Mali constitution draft. But there are sections of the draft that have already triggered controversy. Because people will never be satisfied. And one goes to complain, but no, constitution here, because everybody, especially àwọn tó bá ní upper edge, wọ́n fẹ́ rẹ́ra wọn jẹ. We have been otirewaje for too long. And Tinubu should be able to now change the narrative a little bit. Kò mí pé Tinubu máa change in Nigeria sí Yorùbá nation, but he can change the narrative. In tó fi sọ pé diplomacy nìyẹn. Now, as a part that says Mali is an independent, sovereign, unitary, indivisible, democratic, secular, and social republic has got imam, àwọn imam ń bínú, a powerful religious class in the Saheli nation contesting the principle of the secularism. Àwọn Muslim ń bínú ní Mali pé constitution yẹn kò fi favor àwọn. You can see why we are saying that if àwọn ilé bá ń ṣe the same thing tó ń bínú, we can also be asking that constitution yóò lè favor wa in the long run. Come June 18, which is 3 days from now, changing if Thursday, so just Sunday, ló máa dìbò ní, but àwọn military wọn kàn ti lọ dìbò ahead. June 18, voters will have to respond to simple question, yes or no. That's what we are asking for. Pull down the 1999 constitution, allow Nigerians to go and vote for a new draft constitution that we have all read. And from there, we can all come out and say, in the next 2 years, in the next 1 year, in the next 48 months, we are going to start campaigning for a full referendum to decide whether we want to remain in Nigeria. Kò dẹ̀ ní mú jà wá. Àwa Yorùbá dẹ̀ máa wá jáde in full force. Kò ní sí pé any restriction because ṣẹ́rí ìdí tí a ṣe ń struggle nísàlẹ̀ láti deliver message wa is because the constitution doesn't have the clause. So àwọn radio station nílé wọ́n ń bẹ̀rù pé hey intense sọ yìí ìbàdàn ẹ̀fẹ̀ especially tí olórí burúkú yẹn tó wà lọ ṣe by trying to hijack a radio. Àwọn tó ń hijack radio àwọn tó ń coup plotter ni wọ́n à ń ṣe coup plotter. Tó bá jẹ́ pé 1999 constitution ó accept pé ká contest láti jáde láti ó yẹ káwọn radio station máa invite wa Mr. Koiki ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Gbẹ̀gẹ̀dù FM ẹ ń sọ pé ká pín ìjẹ́ lè sọ ìdí tá a ti fẹ́ pín. That is meant to be the normal procedure. Ẹ lọ wo àwọn Scottish ojoojúmọ́ ló ń invite wọn wá sórí different radio station títí dé LBC ìtorí pé in tó ń ṣe ẹ̀tàn wọn ni the only difference ni pé àwọn English especially àwọn conservative wọ́n ti fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn Scotland lọ so wọ́n fẹ́ hold ẹ̀pọ̀n wọn mọ́lẹ̀. Àwọn ará Scottish then sọ pé àdéhùn tájọ ṣe kọ́ nìyẹn ní 2014. Àdéhùn tájọ ṣe ni pé tá a bá vote pé a máa dúró sínú UK as a one uniform ẹ̀yin náà ní kúrò lábẹ́ EU ẹ̀yin ẹ wá fọ́ wa lẹ́pọ̀n àwa dìbò fún yín against àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ lọ because tábà lọ́wọ́ margin àwọn tó náà fẹ́ lọ àtàwọn tó fẹ́ lọ ní Scotland gbogbo margin ní ọ̀tọ̀ 500,000. So what they are now playing now is ostrich game. UK ń lo òfin wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń lo different ways láti fẹ́ fi keep wọn mọ́lẹ̀. Àwọn ará Scottish then sọ pé àfi tá a bá lọ. So ìdí tí àwọn tó wà nílé ta ṣe ń struggle láti deliver message yẹn ni pé constitution Nigeria kò clear kò síbi kankan tó sọ pé a lè lọ irọ́ lọ́pa kò clear dáadáa. tó bá yẹ kó sọ síbẹ̀ pé ọmọ Yorùbá lè lọ any radio station lè gbé mi wá kó wá bá mi ká sọ̀rọ̀. And that is why the first step táwa fi ṣe ni pé àwa wá ń beat àwọn radio station tó wà ń lé, even though the message does not get down quickly, and lo social media láti fi deliver message wa. So ẹni tó wà ní Ọbalẹ́ndé láàárọ̀ ìnísìn á kọ̀ máa gbọ́ pọ́n ní Yorùbá fẹ́ lọ, but kí lòdì tá a ṣe fẹ́ lọ? Ẹ jẹ́ ká wà ní Nàìjíríà náà ká máa fọ Ọlọ́run ṣe. No, Ọlọ́run kọ́ ló fi ṣe country. Wọ́n kì í fi Ọlọ́run ṣe country. Ẹ forget gbogbo nonsense yẹn. So the reason why tí a ṣe náà fẹ́ lọ ó wá di pé understanding yẹn kò yé wọn dáadáa. So they are now thinking that it's like pé a fẹ́ wá da ìlú rú, Ìgbòho fẹ́ da ìlú rú, Bàbá Akíntóyè fẹ́ da ìlú rú. No, a kì í ṣe military plotter, a dẹ̀ ń ṣe military coup. In tá à ń béèrè fún ó wà enrich into the constitution. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sí countries tí ó wà lábẹ́ United Nations as at 2023. I will just be brief around it. The United Nations was created in 1945 following the World War II. Its mission is to maintain international peace and security by preventing conflict. So, ìtí Ìyádàgbòrú Dúpẹ́ Fúrúlẹ̀ tó sọ fún pé United Nations ti gba Yorùbá nation fún wa, irọ́ nìyẹn. United Nations kò ń gba country fún yàn. Is lie, irọ́ nìyẹn. Pé ó ti gbà fún wa, irọ́ ni. But kí ni procedure láti lè gba country? As an organization of an independent state, it may admit a new state to its membership or accept their credential of representative of a new government. A lè submit representative wa pé àwa o a fẹ́ lọ, but òun náà ti ṣe yẹn, wọ́n dẹ̀ ti fún òun ní answer, ó dẹ̀ refuse láti release ìtọ́ fún yẹn, ṣé wá sọ United Nations di òmùgọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ fídíò yìí. Somebody sent this video to me. I think it was Bishop Adesina. I will share the link. This was released 2 days ago. It is called United Nations Chief on a Digital Platform Policy. Kò sí nǹkan kan tí United bá ń ṣe. United Nations kò ń ṣe ẹgbẹ́ òkùnkùn. Wọ́n máa ń ṣe nǹkan kan policy láti jáde, white paper láti jáde, láti sọ pé there is a country tó ń pè ní Yorùbá Nation so that kí gbogbo àgbáyé lè wà where. Ẹ dá gbọ́ díẹ̀ nípa the launch of a digital platform.
Information integrity on digital platforms. Joining him is Melissa Fleming, the Undersecretary General for Global Communications, whose department has the lead on issues relating to information integrity in digital platforms, and whose department produced the brief that you've had since last week. So, Secretary General, you have the floor, and then we'll take some questions.
Distinguished members of our press corps, new technology is moving at warp speed, and so are the threats that come with it. Alarm over the latest form of artificial intelligence, generative AI, are deafening, and they are loudest from the developers who designed it. The scientists and experts have called on the world to act, declaring AI an existential threat to humanity on a par with the risk of nuclear war. We must take those warnings seriously. Our proposal Global Digital Compact, New Agenda for Peace, and Accord on the Global Governance of AI will offer multilateral solutions based on human rights. But the advent of generative AI must not distract us from the damage digital technology is already doing to our world.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n tó sọ mẹ́ẹ̀, the same way tí irọ́ tó ń travel, irọ́ ṣẹ́rí irọ́ òun ló dùn jù. Koiki irọ́ ló ń pa bomb bastard ní tá a bá ń parọ́ ó yẹ kí evidence wà fẹ́yìn tẹ́ ẹ̀ parọ́ pé ẹ ti gba country. Fẹ́ àwọn bá ń sọ pé a fẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà, tá bá yẹ pé rọ́là ń pa pé Nàìjíríà ń ṣiṣẹ́, ó yẹ ká máa rí indices of the country that is working. Tesco made £56 billion last year. Tesco, one organization in UK, employed 330,000. So if you are telling me that we cannot have a replica of that in the last 23 years of democracy in Nigeria, then you are crazy. Because Nigeria should have had a company that can project almost the same amount. It's one organization. Báwo l'organization ẹ̀ ṣe wá make owó yẹn? Báwo ló ṣe ń send gbogbo ọjà wọn káàkiri? Báwo lèmi ṣe máa lọ sí Tesco nísìnyí tí máa lọ ra eléyìí tí màá dẹ̀ rà because ó ti ní barcode barcode yẹn ti bá jẹ́ tínú bá run mí nísìnyí wọ́n máa trace ẹ̀ padà. Tesco fẹ́ mọ níbo ló ti wá. That's why they do what they call due diligence. Kò lè sọ fún Tesco ní sí pé à ń ta pọ̀nmọ́ lọ Nàìjíríà o, pọ̀nmọ́ aláta o wá fẹ́ supply wọn. O níbo ni pọ̀nmọ́ yẹn ti ń bọ̀? When we have a farming system that is working in just Ondo State, ṣe rí gbogbo waste of energy táwọn governors yìí ṣe, let them just build one platform, farming. Kọ́ wá make sure pé technology yẹn ti wà. Èmi tẹ̀lé Captain John lọ sí Spitalfield market. Èmi á wá sọ fún Tesco pé mo lè supply yín ní nǹkan báyìí. Tesco á ní níbo ni mo ti fẹ́ mú wá, màá ní Ondo State. Àádẹ́ lọ sórí IP code. Aṣọ mi ní farm yẹn. Aṣọ yín worker bẹ́ ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́. Tínú yín dùn tán sanwó fún yín. And then by the time tí process yẹn bá wá, I deliver sí bíbá. Wọ́n pè ní traceability. Gbogbo tẹ́ ń jẹ nínú Nàìjíríà kò wà traceable. Disease lẹ́ ń jẹ lójoojúmọ́. I pity a lot of you at home. Ọmọ Òdùwà ó jẹ ọkàn kìíní lọ sí school láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Tó bá yàgbẹ́ tígbẹ́ ṣíṣàn bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí ń jáde lára ẹ̀ ní school. The first thing tó máa kọ́kọ́ ṣe tó bá gbé lọ hospital ni pé wàá lọ test ìgbẹ́ yẹn. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé òun ti jẹ kìíní? Ó ti ọmọ pé tó bá jẹ nǹkan tó bá ti dénú kùn yìí, ó ti di nǹkan míì kò ń ṣe in tó jẹ yẹn mọ́ ló máa bá nínú kùn. Ó máa change lára. In tó máa ṣe ni pé láti lè fi detect pé kí ló mọ̀ yìí jẹ tó fi ń yàgbẹ́, wàá gbé lọ hospital. Ìyẹn hospital tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ kò ń ṣe Nàìjíríà. Ní Nàìjíríà equivalent ẹ̀ ni pé ẹ lè gbé lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn babaláwo, kẹ gbé lọ sọ́dọ̀ church, kẹ gbé lọ sí mọ́ṣáláṣí kan máa fún nìkan mu. But lọ́dọ̀ tiwa àwa máa wá test ìgbẹ́ yẹn. Tó bá test ìgbẹ́ yẹn máa sọ pé nǹkan báyìí ló jẹ. Number one, wá kọ́kọ́ note it down. Traceability. Tó bá ti wá mọ tó jẹ yẹn, wá sọ fún Tesco, because wọ́n máa trace ẹ̀ padà sí Tesco pé ó lè bẹ̀ wá ní sí pé kí ló jẹ kúrò nílé. Èmi á ní ẹ̀wọ̀n kó gbà wọ́n máa crack kí ló jẹ. Èmi tó àwọn akẹ́rẹ́ dúdú ó ti fẹ́ máa lágbárí àbí school. No, kò jẹ kankan ní school. Nǹkan kan ló jẹ nílé. Ẹ lè trace anywhere. Eléyìí tí mo sọ yìí, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ fi mú sí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń sọ pé ẹ ti gba country. Kò sí anywhere nísìnyí tẹ́lẹ̀ fún mi ní evidence tó wà traceable pé ti gba Yorùbá nation. Tẹ́ bá fún mi ní that evidence, màá stop Yorùbá nation tí mo ṣe. Tẹ́ bá fún mi ní evidence yẹn pé ẹ ti gba country yẹn, èmi á stop Yorùbá nation. I hand over fẹ́yìn. Kò sí anywhere. Mo challenge ìjìnlẹ̀ 60 minutes any day, anytime. I will finish you under 60 minutes. Ìwọ kọ́ ló máa anchor ẹ̀, ẹlòmíì ló máa anchor ẹ̀. 60 minutes. Torí ìwọ nìkan mo lè bá discuss. Àwọn tó kù, I see them as nonentic idiots. Nonentic idiot to understand bí nǹkan ṣe work. Wọ́n wá sọ fún mi pé inú ilé lọmọ yìí ti jẹ kankan. Màá wá ní òkè in tó jẹ lélẹ̀. Wọ́n wá sọ fún mi pé ṣé mo ní rapper. O rò pé lọ́mọ nǹkan ọmọ yẹn jẹ́ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ òun lélẹ̀. Èmi á wá mú rapper yẹn fún wọn. Wọ́n wá wo rapper yẹn. Wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí trace ẹ̀. Wọ́n trace ẹ̀ dé company tó produce kìíní. Wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé ṣé record wà, because òyìnbó tó impute nǹkan tó impute data sínú system, which is what they are talking here now. Okay, ẹni Yorùbá nation ti wà. Níbo ni mo ti fẹ́ check ẹ̀? Lórí UN. Wèrè Wálé Àlì ó ní wọ́n bá òun check ẹ̀. Ó wá jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tẹ́ máa hide tó yẹ pé nìkan lè máa check ẹ̀. Àwọn ò lè check ẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin stupid idiot. Oníyàn kan confirm ẹ̀ l'Amẹ́ríkà. Bí ẹni tó ń fọbọ́ l'Amẹ́ríkà ló sọ pé òun bá confirm ẹ̀. Níbo ló ti confirm ẹ̀? Ládùúgbò òun ló confirm Yorùbá nation yẹn sí. Bomb bastard every single one of you. Wọ́n wá trace kìíní. Wọ́n wá béèrè pé ṣé ọmọ Kóìkí nìkan ló jẹ́ tó ń yàgbẹ́? Wọ́n ní no. I rí traces mi náà lọ́dọ̀ wọn ní Scotland. I rí traces mi náà. Wọ́n wá match it together. Wọ́n wá penalize company yẹn. Wọ́n wá sọ fún company yẹn pé no, irọ́ ló ń pa. Kíní tó ṣe yìí, ó ní ṣúgà méjì nínú. But nígbà táwọn check ẹ̀, ṣúgà 4 ló wà níbẹ̀. Ṣúgà 4 yẹn jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ yẹn máa yàgbẹ́. Wọ́n wá fine company yẹn. So Dúpẹ́ tó ń sọ fún ipò ti gba country. Ẹ sọ pé bomb bastard ni. Kó lọ dákẹ́. Gbogbo nonsense tó ń sọ lórí social media yẹn kò ní any traceability kankan bí ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. Kò dẹ̀ lè mú jáde ìrọ̀lú pa. Let's listen.
The proliferation of hate and lies in the digital space.
The purification of hate. Baba Akintoye son now. You think we love each other? You don't love each other. It's all lies. We don't love each other. Hate tí Baba is on say. Baba Akintoye son níbí báyìí. Baba Akintoye is all clear that. Yeah. Today, the hate, this is the General Secretary United Nations in today Nigeria as it stands at a grave moment when the nationality problem and the hatred have been fearfully aggravated by the decision and effort of one Nigerian nation, the Fulani nation, to conquer, break, subjugate all the other nations in Nigeria. We stand at a grave moment when they will conquer that nation. They will conquer us if we leave it too late. Bola Tinubu has time to think. Is the last card for Enyiti Ewalonda political dispensation. There will never be anybody like Bola Tinubu again in terms of from the Yoruba side. The Northerners will play calm with him. They will slow down with him. They will pray that Tinubu does not break the unity of Nigeria until he gets back to them again. They will now finish off the job. They will deal with every single one of us. And you can't really passport and you can't really jade mo and is that what you want? Is that what you want? This is the reason why we are saying that our unity with Nigeria is not working. We'll be bringing the program down very, very soon because it's already 1 hour, 30 minutes. And if you want more, that means you have to continue to support more. So I have to go and do some other things as well. It's almost 10 o'clock. So I have about just 7 more minutes. Let me quickly go straight into this. Founding members are United States, United Kingdom, Russia, and China aftermath of the World War II. And this was signed by 50 countries after 2-month deliberation from April, like I told you earlier, in 1945. Poland, which could not attend the initial event, added its signature on October 15, 1945, becoming the number 51 founding member. The charter took effect on October 24th, 1945, marking the official birth of the United Nations in 1945. And it is also connected to ICJ, International Court of Justice. Since 1945, some of the founding members have been dissolved. Czechoslovakia was a founding member, Otikmi. Soviet Union was a founding member, Otik dissolved. So when people say Nigeria cannot dissolve, it will dissolve at the appropriate time. It's just a matter of when and how soon. But you will never get the Nigeria of your dream again. The Nigeria of your dream is dead. What they are doing now is just to stabilize it until everybody breaks away. Tinubu might work on that, and he might not work on that. It's up to him. That would not stop what we are doing. Now, Yugoslavia, we all know, has been dissolved. So, 2 powerful, or 3, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and Omo Baba Temi, our first son from my dad, studied in Yugoslavia. Nima to dikpe, one of them, whatever, they were doing rubbish. What put it out? What going UK? They are the same set of Ahmed Abiola, but they will listen. What they don't know. One show Baba Lowo position. Tell me why I call him Mawa. Torí pé bàbá yẹn tètè kú. Tó bá yẹ pé àwọn first born bàbá tèmi wọ́n ṣe dáadáa, wọ́n tètè take over in tí wọ́n ní kó lọ ṣe abroad. I still have the telegram. Tip of you have communicate pẹ̀lú wọn pé ẹ̀yin ọmọ ẹ̀ ṣe tẹ́ máa ṣe kíákíá. Mo sọ fún yín pé tẹ́ǹkì ò bá wá sọ́dọ̀ tiwa níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn pálọ̀ ló máa ń jókòó sí bàbá tèmi sì ń sùn nínú bedroom. The late MK Abiola tó bá wá sọ́dọ̀ bàbá tiwa popsi tèmi ń sùn nínú yàrá ẹ̀ while MK will sit down there and is waiting. And my dad was never involved in politics. Kò ní dá fún gbogbo yín pátápátá látò dìdílẹ̀. Bomb bastard. Ta ni bàbá tẹ̀yìn? Ẹgbẹ́ bàbá tí ń jáde ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń tọ́ pé àmọ́ tá ń sọ. Ẹ̀yin olùsí. as we move further quickly, the France, Argentina, and all this country, we now have, since it is founded, the United Nations has added another 142 Yoruba nation notice nínú ẹ̀. Irọ́ ni dúpẹ́ ń pa fún yín. Kò sí any document kankan tó gbé dání. It's all lies. Kò sí any iota of truth in what she's saying in the digital world that we are living today. The state and territory. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́ bí báyìí. The state and territory. Yorùbá bá fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ United Nations. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́. The state and territory that wishes to join submit an application promising to accept the obligation of the United Nations Charter. So, where does it say that United Nations will give you a country? Ọ̀nà wo ni United Nations wá sọ pé ó máa fún yín ní country? Because in Tosonibibai, it stated clearly, Yoruba country fẹ́ wáyé that wishes to join must submit an application. Ẹ lọ submit application bẹ́ẹ̀ tó fẹ́ gba visa lọ sí London. Orí omi kọ́ lè gbé gbà wọ́ bíbá. I flew into UK to Gatwick Airport in September 98 precisely, almost 25 years ago. Mo sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ tẹ́ gba orí omi wọlé, èmi ò gbórí omi wọlé. Visa tí mo fi wọlé sí ìlú yìí, mo sì ní copy ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́. Tom bastard. Ta ni bàbá tẹ̀yìn? Màmá tèmi sá kúrò ní Nàìjíríà ní 1991 because only projection Nigeria pé ìlú yóò ní sá fún òun àtàwọn ọmọ òun. 1991 my mom ran out of Nigeria. Àwọn tó ń gbé over $60,000 travel kó wá Nigeria. Dollar was changing. Ó ti lọ 34 to 40 naira. Kò tí pé 40 naira to $1 ni mo sì mi ti sá kúrò Nigeria. Pé ó better kó wá jókòó sí London. Ó dìjà láàrin family pé wàá kó àwọn ọmọ sílẹ̀, wọ́n sì mi ní kó má worry. Káwa máa lọ sí secondary school, àwọn á fi wá sí private university, private boarding school. Mo tẹ̀ sùn one night nínú school boarding house because school boarding house is rubbish. That's why the first hostel tí mo sùn, pé mo sùn l'Abẹ́òkúta, pé mo kọ́kọ́ mọ ọmọ Abẹ́òkúta, Taradec hostel ló wà kò ní dá fún gbogbo yín pátápátá. Tani bàbá tẹ̀yìn, school wo ni wọ́n lọ? I went to Onward Nursery and Primary School. It was a private school. Olùsí ni bàbá ẹ̀. Mercedes ló fi ń gbé àwa lọ láti inú ilé mi ní kilo ní Ládéjọbí láti ilé dé school tó do 10 minutes lọ kò ní dá fún bàbá tó bí ẹ tó ṣe sọ pé Nàìjíríà máa ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn tó ń parọ́ fún àwọn èèyàn pé Nàìjíríà máa ṣiṣẹ́. Ta ni bàbá ẹ? Ilé bàbá mi 2 street ló face ní Ládéjọbí àti ní kilo. Ilé rẹ̀ ṣì wà bó ṣe máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí. Ó build ilé yẹn before he was 30 years old. Ìwọ jókòó ní sìn tó ń sọ pé Nàìjíríà máa dá ní 2023. Bomb bastard. The state and territory tó fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ United Nations wàá lọ submit application wàá dẹ̀ follow obligation of the United Nations Charter such as pursuing peace, promoting human rights, and working alongside other countries in the spirit of global cooperation. The United Nations vote on the applicant eligibility. Ẹ bèrè lọ́wọ́ Dúpọ̀ lórí burúkú bomb bastard pé àwọn ìlú wo ló vote fún Yorùbá nation nínú United Nations. Ìlú wo ló vote fún tí kò gbogbo àgbáyé ò ní wá rí officially in a digital format or in a white paper. No, ṣó ń bá Anthony Guterres ṣó ń bá sùn lẹ́yìn ni. So òun àti Anthony Guterres wọ́n jọ ń ṣe skibọ̀ rọ́ọ̀kì lẹ́yìn. So Anthony Guterres wá fún ní pépà máa gbé lọ Nàìjíríà kó lọ fún Buhari Buhari ò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ kó fún Tinubu ẹ jẹ́ mo yóò yà yín tó mú yẹn. I wish you all the best for now. Torí ẹ gbọ́ràn you are stupid people. Èmi ń sọ̀rọ̀ mo ń break nǹkan down fún yín látọdún mẹ́ta gbogbo eléyìí mo ti sọ rí akọrin ṣe refresher ni ẹ̀yin wá jáde ní Dúpẹ́ gba country fún yín ó ní UN monitor yín èèó ní 2023. Bomb bastard ẹ̀yin ọmọ kéékèèké tẹ́ wà lórí social media 25 years ni mo fi gbé nílùú yìí plane ló gbé mi wọnú ìlú yìí mo ní visa mo pàdé òyìnbó ní port ní immigration tó ń bi mí lọ́rọ̀ pé kí mo fi wá ṣe. The United Nations Security Council àwọn Security Council Russia, China, UK, America, France, Canada. So àwọn yẹn ti wá vote fún wa pé Yorùbá people àti gba country ẹ máa lọ o. Really, it's a process. Tá a bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ jà, pressure tá a máa fún pé a fẹ́ lọ ìsàlẹ̀ ló máa wà. Mo ní Ìgbòho ti ṣe 5%. Gbogbo tá a bá kàn ṣe ní ìsàkọ̀ máa top it up ni. Gbogbo tá à ń ṣe pátápátá lórí social media is 2%. 3% ló kù tá a need. Tá a bá ti lè break 3% yẹn, we are going. I pray that àwọn bàbá máa bá Tinubu sọ̀rọ̀. Ìní ọmọ sí bàbá máa fi gbogbo ara sí bíbá 8 years ló ní, but for now 4 years ni. Mo rí Shortman Devil Ọ̀ṣínbàjò ó ti gbọ́dọ̀ padà sí normal life ẹ̀. Ó dà kó wà ní, I don't know whether it's a new video, but mo rí ní Oslo. Ó ti padà sí normal life ẹ̀. Kò sí gbogbo protocol kankan mọ́. Gbogbo protocol yẹn ti tán. Kò dẹ̀ síbi tó fẹ́ lọ. Mo mọ̀ bí tó fẹ́ lọ tẹ́lẹ̀ torí mo ní insider. Nísìnyí àwọn DSS yẹn ti kúrò lẹ́yìn ẹ̀. Mo ní èmi náà níyàn pẹ̀lú àwọn bó ṣe ń move yẹn lèmi náà ní. Àwọn yẹn ló máa ń lọ ahead. Irú àwọn yẹn nísìnyí àwọn yẹn ló ń pè ní àwọn tó máa lọ ahead of a vice president or president up front. Kò síbi tó Ọ̀ṣínbàjò fẹ́ lọ lágbàáyé. Wọ́n ti fún mi ní information yẹn kó tó gbéra. But nísìnyí mo bí bàbá yẹn ní àwọn ti kúrò lẹ́yìn àwọn ṣé mi ò gbọ́ pé ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wà ní àmú ni mo gbọ́ ọmọkọ̀ tó ó ní kí n fi yẹn sílẹ̀ ó ní Ọ̀ṣínbàjò ti lọ ó ní mo lè gba information kankan mọ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọ̀ṣínbàjò. Gbogbo ọdún 8 years tí Ọ̀ṣínbàjò lò lẹ́yìn tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá nation tí mo súnmọ́ wọn dáadáa bàbá yẹn máa fún mi ní information yẹn lè dá fún gbogbo yín. Mo ní gbogbo àwọn DSS wọ́n bẹ̀ mí náà sọ̀rọ̀ àjọ báwọn náà ṣe ń yọ só làwọn náà ń gbọ́ lọ́hùn. Ọ̀ṣínbàjò nísìnyí ó ti di ordinary person kò ṣe kankan sílẹ̀ Yorùbá 8 years kò wasted àná. Àwa lọ sórí puppet nísìnyí kí ó máa di full time church pastor nísìnyí. Àwa gbégò báyìí àwa máa ka Psalm a máa sọ fún yín a máa multiply 1 by 2 nínú Bible ẹ̀ ń tẹ́ ká fi Bible yẹn ká fi gbá etí wèrè olùṣe olórí burúkú wasted 8 years. Ẹ lọ wo Rẹ́mọ ẹ lọ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mo jẹ́ kan mo sọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀ṣínbàjò sísá wa kan sáré pé kì í yé máa link ẹ̀ mọ́ kinní kan wọ́n bínú. Mo rántí bí 2 years ago náà pé Koiki kinní kan kí ló ṣe fún yín nísìn. Ẹ lọ gbogbo Ogun State a vice president bí a lọ ṣe títì tó fi délé bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ adẹ̀dẹ̀ fìlà bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ àwọn olùsí. The United Nations tọ́lá ti ń lọ torí táàmì ti pé the United Nations Security Council vote on the applicant eligibility. Àwọn Security Council ló máa vote pé a fẹ́ gbà yín sínú United Nations. So níbo ni Dúpẹ́ àti àwọn Security Council ti ṣe meeting? Àwọn wo ni àgbáyé tó ń bá sọ̀rọ̀? Tó ń fúlà rẹ̀. Tó ń fúlà ẹ̀yin idiot tẹ́ wà lórí social media. Tẹ́ rò pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà láàbúrọ̀dì ní làákàyè. Àṣẹ tẹ̀ ní làákàyè. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà. Tẹ́ lọ síwájú United Nations kó lọ bí lọ security pé ṣe ti gba country kan tán pé Yorùbá nation kó á fọ́ etí ẹ̀ mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ìbẹ́yìn wà l'Amẹ́ríkà tẹ́ lọ support. The applicant ìyẹn Yorùbá nation must be approved by all the 5 permanent members. Bọ́ọ̀bá approve ẹ̀. Wọ́n ni wọ́n fẹ́ approve Yorùbá nation. Ìyẹn la ṣe máa make sure pé tí ọ̀nà diplomacy ò bá ti ṣe ó di gbàsgbòs nìyẹn. But ìyẹn sì di the back push. Ṣẹ̀rá àwọn Security Council yẹn United States, Russia, United Kingdom, China àti France. These are the countries tó máa sọ pé okay ìyẹn ló ṣe máa sọ pé tí kan ní wọ́n bá veto nínú àwọn tí mo dárúkọ ẹ̀ ìdí tí China sì fi ń fi agbára pé Taiwan ò ní di member United bóun Taiwan kò ní gbogbo nǹkan gun àwọn ò ní gbà because àwọn làwọn ní Taiwan. America dẹ̀ sọ pé no àwọn máa fún Taiwan ní gbogbo backup wọ́n ṣe sign ní kíní kan l'Amẹ́ríkà láìpẹ́ ó rà pé last week pé tí China bá attack Taiwan kí America attack China. 32 aircraft ló flew into Taiwan airspace ní last week. Àwọn different fighter jet láti China. Wọ́n wọnú bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n prepare. There might be third world war. We pray for not. You know, I'm going to the country. And all Olubasi. China Koko Michael Olubasi. As well as at least 4 of the temporary members of the council, which rotate every 2 years. If Yoruba nation, if applicant, but mo fi pé Yoruba nation, applicant, if the applicant is approved, the vote then moves to the General Assembly, where a simple two-third majority is required to admit Yoruba Nation or the territory. It will now validate as a fully fledged country into the United Nations. Is that not what we are saying to you? Ẹ ṣe sùúrù. Process ni. Ojú kan yín, ojú ṣe ń kọ́ yín lójú kẹ́mi náà. Èmi ti pẹ́ níbi ìwà ó ti sú mi, and I'm not joking, but I give thanks maybe I'm Oshiwa for now. Because Oshiwa, over 1,000 better than Nigeria. Mama sọ fún mi pé Nigeria safe, kò sí kankan. Davido gan mọ̀ pé Nigeria safe. Tó bá bí Davido dá, kó drive Mercedes Maybach yẹn tó rà ní over $550 or $1,000, which I love the car. Kó wá gbé mọ́tò yẹn, kó drive ẹ̀hún nìkan fún rẹ̀, kó gbé lọ sí Ọ̀ṣun State. Kó drive ẹ̀ lọ, kó lọ 2 days lọ́ṣun State, kó dá padà sí Lagos. Òun nìkan kó má lọ security. But òun nìkan lè drive ẹ̀ l'America, kò need any security, kò need anybody. Torí pé America ò ní fún ní extra soldier àtọlọ́pàá. Ó lè gba private security, ìyẹn ṣe problem, olówó ẹ̀. So why are we telling lies? Why? Ṣé àkàn disturb wa lórí platform ni? Because mo ti rí message mọ́ mi kan. Ta ló ń jẹ́? Ṣé àkàn dá ó ń disturb yín níbẹ̀ ni? Ta ni Sikirat? Ìwọ tẹ̀ wá mẹ́rin látẹ̀ nǹkan. Ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ sọ pé èèyàn kan wà bẹ̀ tó ń bú mi látẹ̀ nǹkan ṣá. Born bastard ni bàbá tó bí ẹ, Sikirat Alabi. Olórí burúkú. Ṣé ìwọ ni ọmọ ìyá onítìrì? Olòṣì. Ẹ̀yẹ́ lẹ̀ sọ látẹ̀ nǹkan ìyẹn wà bẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan tó ń bú mi látẹ̀ nǹkan ṣá. Gbogbo ẹ̀dẹ̀ jókòó síbẹ̀. Mọ́mí wa ló ṣẹ̀ sọ ní sìkẹ́. Kò ní yẹ bàbá ẹ̀. Ogun máa wọlé pa bàbá ẹ̀ ni. Ìwọ Sikirat Alabi yẹn. Gbogbo fámílì ẹ̀ ogun máa wọlé pa yín lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan ni. Olòṣì. Àyẹ̀wò wà bẹ̀ látẹ̀ nǹkan ló ń bú mi ṣá. Kò ní dá fún bàbá tó bí ẹ, olòṣì. Olórí burúkú somebody. Born bastard. Èèyàn máa lè, èèyàn ọmọ kéékèèké. Ogun lákàáyé máa wọlé pa àwọn tó ní ẹ látòkè délẹ̀. Gbogbo generation ẹ tó bá yẹ pé lórí tí mo gbé dání tí mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ lójoojúmọ́, tó bá yẹ pé lórí òtítọ́ mo gbé dání ni, ogun máa wọlé pa àwọn tó bí ẹ. Tó bá dẹ̀ lóbi mọ́, gbogbo family ẹ máa ṣọ́kú ni. Born bastard. Olórí burúkú. Olòṣì. Òun náà ló lè gbójú ẹ̀ síta properly ká rójú ẹ̀. Olórí burúkú. No, Sikirat Alabi, 1 subscriber. Kò lè gbójú ẹ̀ síta gan. Mo lọ wo page ẹ̀ nísìn. Nothing is there. A lè fẹ́ parí ètò. Nothing is there. Kò lè gbójú ẹ̀ jáde. Ṣé Fúlàní ni ẹ́? Born bastard. Ó gbọ́n la máa ṣe DNA fún ọjọ́ iwájú. Olòṣì. Wọ́n wá sórí program máa bú wa. Born bastard. So, as we are almost finishing the program, ẹ bá ti sọ ẹ bá ti pè attention mi mo kàn rí mọ́mí wa grandma nísìn ló kàn sọ pé Síkírà àgbàtà ló ń jẹ́ Síkírà ń dódò àbí gbọdọ̀ ti wá kẹ̀ olùṣe lórí burúkú. If the applicant is approved, then wọ́n máa wá vote ní General Assembly, where a simple two-third majority is required to admit the territory now validates as a fully pledged country. It is actually quite unusual for a country to exist. It is currently unusual for a country to exist without becoming a member of the United Nations, simply because one of the required steps in becoming a country is to be recognized by United Nations. However, there are 2 permanent non-member observer states that arguably fit the description: the Holy City, Vatican, and Palestine. As a non-member observer state, both countries are welcome in the General Assembly and have access to most United Nations benefit and services opportunity, but they cannot cast a vote. Both permanent observer states also have the potential to join the United Nations eventually as a full member. However, the reason these 2 particular states are not currently full members are unique to their specific unique. So, going further, independent states not yet fully recognized as country. They are not fully recognized, but one operation one law is because they are still countries that so Kanta. So what? Agree. Taiwan or agree with China. The same thing with Kosovo. although the Holy City and Palestine are not full members that they are recognized as independent states. However, there also exist many other additional states and territories that wish to be recognized as country, but have yet to be recognized by the required number of United Nations members. Number 1, Kosovo. Number 2, Taiwan. Ní Kosovo, 100 countries, they don't recognize one. Ní Taiwan, 13 members. Western Sahara, àwọn ẹni 20%, àwọn ló ń bá Morocco fa wàhálà, ìjà tó ti ó ti jẹ́ pé kó gba 20% of their territory. Wọ́n lọ́mọ ogun wọn ní gbogbo ẹ̀ ojoojúmọ́ ló ń bá Morocco jà. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti recognize wọn lágbàáyé. Western Sahara. Then, additional states with little recognition, South Ossetia, Abkhazia, and the Northern Cyprus. Cyprus, nearity, over 77 people died. So, and so on and so forth. So, in the long run, the conversation today is boiled on United Nations. I hope you've enjoyed, the program. I have to go now. Thank you so much for each and every one of you that have joined us so far. Enjoy the rest of the day. Join me later on the Star Radio UK network at 11 o'clock, where we're going to be discussing. Before we go one more time, listen to Professor Akin Oyebode on the fraudulent 1999 Constitution.
Nigerians are complacent and they will not stand up to immoral conduct. Then we justify that particular conduct. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And quite sincerely, the judges too, they have part of the blame, but they don't have all the blame. The problem, I think, like the Patriots pointed out a long time ago, is that Constitution, Decree 24 of 1999, is a diktat. It's a military diktat. It tells a lie against itself. What you are brandishing as the Constitution of Nigeria is an illegitimate instrument. There's nowhere where we all agree that will be
even though it begins with we the people.
No, that's the lie that I'm talking about. And I'm not original here. The Patriots have said it. Okay? And Ben Nwabose continues to say it. I attend meetings on the black table where Ben Nwabose presides. And he will tell you that Constitution is a fraud. That we have to it and do an autochthonous Constitution for ourselves. So please let us recognize the limitations of the 1999 so-called Constitution. We need a Constitution, the spirit of the age, which captures our imagination. And that's why I say acquiescence by the generality of the people is what has pretended to lend legitimacy to an otherwise illegitimate instrument.
Thank you so much, Professor Akin Oyebode. Àwọn àgbàlagbà professor ni. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí for the conversation. We'll come back out again later where we will have a full broadcast in the software. For now, let's break it down. Thank you so much for being part of the program. My name is Olawumi Koiki. As we continue the non-violent movement, we will continue to educate as many people while we will negotiate with Bola Tinubu, the current president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, under the leadership of the Oracle, Alano, Professor Banji Akintoye. I am your boy, Olayomi Koiki. Thank you so much for all your loves and support. Let us remain firm. We are on the right track, but one thing is, it has a process, due process. We will work on those process. We will remain on that process. It will be non-violent for now as much as possible, but there is always, as I say, nobody has monopoly to violence. But one thing is, this is a non-violent movement. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Join me at 11 o'clock at the Star Radio UK network. Let's play our anthem and we call it a day.
You start. When you're offline.
Iṣẹ́ wà fún ẹwà forílẹ̀-èdè. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbéga, ká gbéga, ká gbéga. ìgbàgbọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bí ẹrú. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ o. Ká ṣiṣẹ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́. Jẹ́ ká jọ. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ni ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Tẹ̀síwájú. Ọ̀pọ̀ ire. Àtòhun tó dára. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Odùduwà, ẹ dìde o. Ẹ má bínú pa nígbà pọ̀ ẹ̀. Maybe later in the afternoon. Bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀. Ògo Adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ Ògo Adúláwọ̀. Mo kí bàbá wa Prophet Ogundele, I got to recognize you. All our medias, ẹ má bínú pé mo lè dárúkọ gbogbo yín, but I think I spot some of you there. Love you so much, everyone. I'll be out again from the Star Radio UK network, and then we will then, do our afternoon studio properly as well, where we can show you more other things. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now. Olayomi Koiki. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to our doorstep. Odabo.